This podcast contains discussions of mature themes, including violence, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Please proceed with caution. Listener discretion is advised.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to this special Dealer's Choice episode of Dark Talk. As always, I am your host Dan, and I'm joined by my two breast bros, my two best bros, Paul and James. How's it going, guys?
Very well, thank you, Dan. How are you?
Very well.
Yeah, good.
Good. Three goods. Not great because the weather's getting dark and it's like cold as shit out there now.
Yeah, I like this time of year. Dan, you're looking very Rob Zombie.
It's my I've got my what is it? It's like train driver's cap on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
looks cool.
I drove a steam train to get home tonight, so here I am.
All aboard!
The Dark Talk Express is taking off. Oh God.
So what have you guys been up to? Anything interesting?
No, not me.
So I've just come back from a 10-day trip to the States, actually.
Again this year.
I know, yeah. When you moved there, James?
Yeah, like you just.
I would if I could.
America.
But yeah,
Wow.
I managed to go to New York, then to a place called Hudson, which is like upstate New York. It was very, very Stephen King-esque. You know, all the wooden houses and
Place
the
beyond
fall
the
colours
pines.
and stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah, basically. And then went down to Philly, which was amazing as well. So, yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
So that's why this episode is so late, because James has been twatting around in the US again.
I know, I am sorry. I'm going to stop having a good time now so I can
Yes,
focus
please.
on this.
And not having a good time. It's the second shoe-related mission you've been on this year to the US.
I've told you not to mention that on this podcast, please. Brickers are very interested.
So, other than travel, what else have you been doing?
Nothing. That's what I have been doing. So,
Have you seen anything good?
yes, I have seen a few things that I've. So on the plane out there, obviously they had like all new stuff. I watched The Woman in the Yard. Have either of you seen that?
I've seen
the trailer for that.
I've seen the trailer, yeah.
That started off like really, really good. I thought it was going to be amazing. Not so good, to be fair, about 2.5 stars. I watched a film called Sacramento. We just happened to put it on, and it's got oh God, what's his name? The one from Superbad, not Jonah Hill. Michael Cera.
Oh yeah.
Michael Cera.
Yeah, we watched that. Yeah, and it was really fucking good. It was like a road trip movie. It's really good.
What was that called, James? Sorry.
Sacramento.
Okay.
And there's like another guy in it as well. I don't know who he is, but it's just so funny. It's really, really good.
One of my favourite tweets of all time is somebody saying, imagine Michael Cera wrapped in a space blanket being treated for hypothermia because he took a sip of some Coke with some ice in it. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's pretty much it. At the beginning of this film, there's a shot of him lying down with a blanket over his head eating a biscuit because his wife's put him to bed or something. I thought
that was just B-roll they included in the actual film.
He's pretty good in Twin Peaks, though.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, I forgot he was in that. He plays the sheriff, not the sheriff's son, but Thingy's son.
Andy's son. Yeah, and he's like Marlon. He dresses like Marlon Brando, doesn't he? In that.
Yeah, he's like well cool. And yeah, so good.
Yeah,
I quite like Michael Cera.
He's only
he's
in it for one episode though. Yeah, he's pretty good. So I watched Strange Darling because we spoke about it last time, didn't we? I was planning on watching it, and it was really good. Yeah, I love the guy out of it. What's his name?
Kyle Gellner.
That's the fella. Yeah. And did you know he was in an episode of The Walking Dead as well?
Oh,
he looks mega young. It's like I think it's season 4, episode 1, where him and Daryl go on a.
Oh my God! Yes.
A raid. Yeah. He's like the young lad, and he dies.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly the character you mean. I did not know that was him. Jesus Christ. Because they sort of build that guy up it's the first episode, isn't it? And they sort of build him up as if he's going to be a cool new character, but then he dies that episode. So.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
He's got like a proper chubby young face on it. James, have you seen Strange Darling yet? Before I speak about it.
No, I have not. Sorry.
No. Ooh, okay. Right. I won't say anything else then. But I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'd give it 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good film. Yeah. Pretty good. I also someone in work told me that they'd seen Heart Eyes, and they were like, "Yeah, it was pretty good." So on their recommendation, I watched Heart Eyes, and it was fucking shite. It should have been called Shite Eyes. It was so bad.
That was on the plane. I was going to watch it, but I'm glad I didn't.
I wouldn't bother. Just right up now in 30 seconds, a quick Valentine's Day based slasher. You don't have to put any substance in it whatsoever, and that will be better than Heart Eyes was, because that's all that someone's done. It's that bad. Yeah. Sorry, Heart Eyes.
Enemy of the podcast.
Creators.
Yeah.
Enemy of the pod.
What is it like? My Bloody Valentine rip-off, or is it just not even that? Like,
not even that.
It's actually. Do you remember when we did My Bloody Valentine, and I said that I remembered the story being about a vengeful man who kills people who celebrate Valentine's Day? Well, it's that story. So it's a story that I kind of had in my head all my life. But it's just this guy kills couples on Valentine's Day, and he's got a mask that has like hearts for eyes, and that's it. That is it. That is your lot. That's the lot. Nothing else to it.
Do you know what? Looking from I think from the adverts I've seen of it, or the trailers and things like that, it looks to me like it's the same caliber film as that Mickey Mouse slasher film, or that Winnie the Pooh slasher film. That level of the there's a Popeye one out now as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out of place in like very late 90s, early 2000s, just jumping on that Scream wave, because it's very similar to those kind of films. Scream, I know we did last summer, but it's just so shit. It's just boring. The characters don't have any depth or reason to be there, and it's just shit and dumb.
Well, we have had, I've not watched it yet, but this year didn't we get a remake, not a remake, but like a reimagining of I Know What You Did Last Summer as well?
Oh yeah, it's the fourth one. It's actually a sequel.
Oh, is it?
It's the fourth film, and it's got Ray in it.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and
Freddie Prinze Jr.
What's her name? Jennifer Love Hewitt both come back for it, don't they?
Yeah. I didn't know she did, but I knew.
It's one of those annoying films that like it's because it's a sequel, but it uses the name of the original film. Like Halloween 2018, or was it Scream 5? It's just called Scream. That kind of.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I hate it when they do that.
And the new Skate game has just come out, Skate 4, but it's called Skate. And the excuse they've used is because it's not a sequel, it's its own thing. And it's like, well, it's not. It's a sequel.
Have you played any of that yet, Paul?
Yeah, I've played it loads. It's very good if you can get past like what everyone else is complaining about it online. Like people are complaining that it's just a cash grab and stuff, but you don't have to worry about that. You can just literally play it and have fun. So it's a very fun game. Yeah, you could take away hours of your life just
nice
finding a nice stair set and just doing different flip tricks off it.
A nice flip to nose blunt down it. Yo.
Yeah. I nearly landed a proper front side flip last time I went skating, like like the hard flip style one.
Yeah, where it like flips underneath you.
Oh yeah, like between your legs as your body turns, a dead slow one. I was this close.
Kareem Campbell style.
Ooh yeah, Ghetto Bird style. Yeah. Welcome to Skate Talk featuring Paul and James.
This is the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater podcast.
Sorry, dog.
What about you, Dan? You see anything good?
Yeah, I've watched a load of things, so I'm not going to go into more, but I'd probably say the best thing I've watched recently was Under the Skin for the first time.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I'd never seen it before.
Fucking hell, it's so good, isn't it?
I knew what it was about, and I knew pretty much most of it. But yeah, watching it, I felt, oh god, I felt sick watching it.
Fucking so good.
Yeah,
That's because it takes place in Scotland. Mostly.
it's not that. I mean, I was enjoying it quite a lot, and I thought this is really atmospheric, really moody. I love it. There's a mystery of what's going on, and then they get to this. It was the scene where they're all on the beach. And yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh god, yeah.
I considered
That's
turning the film off. It's not violent or gory or anything like that. There's just something in it that's very not nice to watch, and I couldn't stop thinking about it all through the film. So it really put me off. I still loved the film, but and it did its job. It was meant to make me feel like that. So yeah, it worked. But yeah, I don't think I can watch that film again. Just for that one scene, really.
Really?
No, it's what James is picking for his.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
the score to that film is incredible.
Oh
right?
yeah, it was.
Oh my god, that score it's one of the best I've ever heard.
Yeah. I think it was a first time job as well, like on a film, first film score, basically.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Great film. But again, I think I'm like too scared to watch it again after that bit. So that got me in the mood for. So Scarlett Johansson's character in that goes around preying on young men in the streets. So it got me thinking about this other film I always wanted to watch when I was younger, because I saw it advertised on Film 4. It had just come out and it was a massive deal at the time. But I never heard anybody mention it ever again. It's a film called The Wisdom of Crocodiles, starring Jude Law. Either of you ever heard of that?
No.
This isn't a spoiler. So he's basically a vampire, and he preys on young women, but he's like an emotional vampire. And it's basically like, I think it came out just before The Talented Mr. Ripley. I think it's what got him the role in that film.
Oh, yeah.
He's basically Tom Ripley vampire. Yeah, it wasn't great, but I was going around spotting some of the cast in it, and do you know Anthony Cotton, the guy that plays Sean from Coronation Street?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's in it.
Is he in it? No way.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
How old is he in that?
He's got to be about like 18, 19. He's really skinny, and like he plays like a mugger.
Didn't he get the role in Coronation Street by just turning up and blagging their heads and just being like,
Yeah,
"You're going to give me a job"?
probably,
And they
because he
were
can't
like-
act to
eventually
save
they were
his
like,
life.
Oh.
You know?
He's not that
Look,
bad.
it is.
I mean, it's Coronation Street standards. He's fine for Coronation Street. Give him a break. But that's how he got the job. He just kept turning up on set, and they were like, "Okay, you can be in the background." And then he just worked his way up to like being a semi-main.
I remember him being
character,
he was in Queer as Folk years ago with Charlie Hunnam and Aidan Gillen. Yeah, he was in that.
I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Yeah.
that.
Two more. I'll just go through them quick. One was Men with Rory Kinnear, but me and Paula spoke about that on our Black Mirror podcast. You've seen it, James?
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to hear what you thought of it.
I didn't like it. It had good parts in it. I thought the effects were great, the acting was great, the atmosphere was great, but then it just didn't add up to anything. The last half really sucked the life out of it for me. I thought the first half, this is brilliant, and then it just went.
Yeah, I was so gutted when I watched it, because like for months, like I'd watched the trailer like twice, 3 times, but then I didn't want to watch it because obviously it gives away loads, and I was so buzzing for that film. And then, like you, there's so many bits I love about. I love obviously that Rory Kinnear plays like every man in it, but you know it's never mentioned, and just bits like that. But there was just some bits I was like, this is.
I had to laugh at it because when you first introduced to Rory Kinnear's character, he's the guy running the Airbnb, isn't he? He's the house owner, and I was like, right, okay, he's obviously going to be the killer because I've seen the poster or whatever, you know. But the way he is there, he's like a League of Gentlemen character with his like false teeth and like the way he's talking. He's just like unintentional comedy. I thought it was so funny.
You're like Tim Light but dim.
I love that film. I was so shocked by the ending, you know, like when they all start giving birth to each other and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, everything about it it was perfect for me. Like, that kind of film I love. And I think it did amount to something, because it was like, it's not just skin deep, the level of this film, is it? It goes a lot deeper, and what the analogies for it are like way deeper than surface level. You know?
Yeah, I know. I just immediately switch off. I just immediately switch off for dream sequences and things like that. Like, I'm watching The Sopranos currently, and every episode that Tony has a dream sequence, and I'm like, oh no, just gotta skip this.
There wasn't a single dream sequence in that film.
Do you mean the flashback stuff?
I mean, the bit where the men are giving birth to each other and coming out, all the gross effects, that's not real. That's a dream.
No,
It's not a dream. No, it happens. It's folk horror. So the it's like the Green Knight thing. You know, the one of the I think it's the first apparition that she sees of the whatever that is. That is like the Green Knight. It goes into folk horror, and that's why it's so fun.
Maybe I was sort of zoned out by the end of it, though. I was just like, whatever it was, it reminded me of dream sequences, and I didn't enjoy it. So
it's okay if you didn't understand it. You're in a safe place here. You can admit that.
Just broadcasting it to the world. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. And last and least, I know neither of you have seen this film, so I won't dwell on it too much. I watched the new VHS film, VHS Halloween. Yeah, it's fucking crap.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah. They're not good films anyway. I mean, ever since the first one, which wasn't great, but they've just been on a steady decline. But this was painful. Like, all the shorts were just not very good.
Did you watch 84? In VHS 84?
Yes, I've seen that one.
Have either of you seen it?
Yes, I've seen that one.
Paul, will you watch it, or are you bothered if we talk about one of the segments?
You can talk about it. I am going to watch it.
Yeah,
I've seen 1, 2, 3 and 94. Is it 94?
Oh, 94 or 84, whichever one it is. But I'm not sure if it was the second to last story or the last one. You know, when they're keeping that vampire as a weapon. So basically, there's this bunch of rednecks, right?
It's like a militia. Right? Is it a militia?
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that.
So at the beginning, it's like they shoot this guy in the head. He's like, excuse me, he's like a hostage. And then at the beginning, they're like, oh, these guys have got this, they're like kidnappers or whatever. But it keeps cutting to them, like every morning, they keep like shooting him in the head and like draining his blood and stuff.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're like, you see him driving past a bank or something like that, and they're like, oh, this is where we're going to like release it, like release the weapon, and it's going to take over the world or something like that. And it's so fucking good. That's the idea of that. It's like how it turns out they're not the bad guys or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I love that story. That was really good. But then there's some there's some mental like robot thing after that, and it's like watching what was that game for the PlayStation where you could build your own robot? Armored Core.
Yeah.
It's like an episode of that, but it's just wild. Yeah. But yeah.
I think I do appreciate the shorts. Generally, the shorts are creative, even if they're bad. They are people, on a very limited budget, putting out what they can. So I do give them credit for that. But this new one was just a lot of the shorts were the same. I think the first 3 shorts were all just like, it was just a load of people screaming and this horror and violence, and it was just like, you think the director or the producer, whoever's in charge, would have given some sort of like, listen, we've already got one like this. Let's do something different. We want something different in the film. You know what I mean? But like, it was just not very good. But watch it and judge for yourself. So
I will.
Right, dark talkers. Let's talk dark. Gents, we're here tonight to discuss The Truman Show, released in 1998, directed by Peter Weir, starring Jim Carrey, Laura Linney, Noah Emmerich, Paul Giamatti, and Ed Harris as Christoph. So, Paul, this was your film for Dealer's Choice. Why have you chosen this film? When did you first watch it?
So, Daniel, this is my favourite film. I saw this around about when it came out, probably when it came out on video. I think we probably rented it, something like that. And the effect that this film had on me is still with me today. When I first saw it, and for a couple of years after, I just loved what it was. You know, I loved like the whole fake world and stuff. But the more times you watch it and the more you think about it and stuff, it gets deeper and deeper. And you can watch it at face value, and it's like, it's a slight drama comedy with Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey in this like big fake Big Brother-y type world. But when you this is why I picked it, because when you really think about it and you watch it and you look at all the detail in it and all that, it is more horror to me. And when I was 15, something very bizarre happened to me. I won't go into detail because this isn't therapy talk, this is dark talk. And for a time, I truly believed that I was in The Truman Show. But I thought I was in like a dark horror channel version where everything was fucking horrible and people were fake, but like monsters and stuff. Anyway, but it's a real thing, like the Truman Show syndrome. After the film came out, loads of people came forward apparently and like have said that they have thought this their whole life. I think everyone around me is actors. I mean, it still kind of happens today with stuff like gang stalking and that, you know, like, and crisis actors. And it's just like, I love anything where reality is just like not real. And you both know that I'm very close to the end of writing and drawing my graphic novel. And one of the main parts of the story is influenced by the Truman Show and like the way I used to think about life and stuff. So it's all about the reality not being what it seems and stuff. So it's like literally to this day, I watched it last night and I still get the same feeling from this film. It is that good. I mean, it's not perfect for everybody because some people don't like films that don't have like people love comedies, people love romance, people love horror, and it's not got what everybody might love. But you cannot deny, as a film fan, that this isn't a perfect film because it fucking is. It's so good. But then again, that's just me feeling very passionately about this film and being a huge Jim Carrey fan in the 90s. You know, we grew up on Jim Carrey, didn't we? That was our sense of humor and that. So yeah, I saw it probably in around 98, 99. Not long after it came out. I definitely didn't see it in the cinema because I would have been too young. And I've seen it probably about 30 times, maybe more. That doesn't sound a lot for your favourite film, but realistically, people probably haven't seen one film more than like 20 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you go. Sorry for that long-winded explanation, but I had to get that out there, you know?
I asked. So, James, what about you?
I honestly don't remember the first time I saw this. I think I've only seen it once before I watched it for this. I've obviously seen loads of clips and like watched YouTube videos about it and stuff like that, and all like the hidden meanings and how they get stuff across and stuff like that. But I got home from work late the other night and I was like, oh, I need to watch it now because I'm not going to have time for the rest of the week. And I put it on and I was just like glued to the screen. It's just so good. And like Paul was saying, there's an element of like weird, not so much horror, but well, I guess in a way it depends how you think of horror, but like very like Twilight Zone-y, and you know, it's all like all the set design and stuff is like how I imagine 50s America is. Reminded me of like Pleasantville a lot, stuff like that.
I was thinking of Blue Velvet watching this. The white fence,
the
very end of Blue Velvet where everything's really happy. That's just straight into my head.
But yeah, I can't remember the first time, but yeah, it was. I watched it again now, and it was just so good, glued to the screen. Yeah. I'm still really intrigued by this. Might be going ahead, but like the casting of Jim Carrey for this.
Yeah, well,
but we can get into that.
Well, yeah, I'll get into it. Yeah, so basically, I'll just quickly go how I first saw it. So when we were kids, James, me and you were really into Jim Carrey films. I mean, a lot of us were because The Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Batman Forever. Just like he's just a superstar. So funny, great. Just I think he's an amazing actor. But he's a really good dramatic actor. And is this his first dramatic role while he was famous? After becoming famous,
he was shooting, or he had just shot Cable Guy.
Right.
Which is it's a comedy still, but it's quite dark. And even though his character is one of the most extreme that he's ever played, it's still got that darkness to it and that sort of serious kind of side to it. He is a man with mental health problems, and but this is his film that he wanted to break out with his more dramatic acting. I mean, the thing is though, he's still got his humour and stuff in the film.
Yeah, I think a lot of the humour that he displays in this film, because he's really toned down in this film compared to his usual antics. I think a lot of the humour that comes in this film is that I think the producers probably said, right, you've got Jim Carrey in this film, yeah, but he's got to do some Jim Carrey stuff. You know, we're not having him like, you know, like in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Minds. He's not anything like Jim Carrey in that, is he? It's a full-on serious role, and I think they probably. I have got no evidence for this, just what I assume that.
I will be talking about Eternal Sunshine towards the end of the film because I have my very own nice little theory.
Okay. So we'll get into the film. So we meet Truman Burbank, played by Jim Carrey, is a 30-year-old insurance salesman who lives in this seemingly all-American apple pie, white picket fence town. And yeah, it's like something from the 1950s or Pleasantville or Blue Velvet, like we just mentioned. The town is Sea Haven, which is an island town, and Truman has never left this town, at least not since he became an adult. He does have an urge to leave the island and become an explorer because it's something that he's dreamed of since childhood. However, events always seem to conspire to keep him in Sea Haven. So on top of this, he's got this crippling fear of water, which prevents him from driving over the only bridge out of town. He got this fear of water when his father drowned in a boating accident when he was younger, which is something Truman has partially blamed himself for all these years, right? So, Paul, do you want to explain what's going on? Why can't Truman leave Sea Haven?
Truman cannot leave Sea Haven because he is without his knowledge, the star of a reality TV show where every single person that lives in Sea Haven, apart from him, is an actor, including his mum, his dad, his wife, his best friend, and his neighbour, the dogs, every single person. In his life, in his existence, the only people he knows in the world are actors, and he is essentially imprisoned on this man-made island, which is a sound stage built just for him. The moon in the sky is fake, and it is the office of the main staff. The stars in the sky are just lights that light up the sound stage and everywhere that they live. He has never had one beam of natural sunlight. Later on in the film, you'll see a big bottle of vitamin D tablets that his wife is pushing on him because he doesn't get.
Oh, I didn't know. Very clever.
Never noticed that.
He doesn't get vitamin D because there is literally no natural sun. He is only afraid of water because he has been gaslit into believing that he will die if he goes in the water, because, jumping ahead a little bit, his dad dies when he is 7 years old on a boating trip with Truman that Truman insisted on going to with him, insisted on his dad taking him out. Truman doesn't know, but the storm which killed his dad is created by the production company because they live in a giant dome which you can see from space. Everything that we see is filmed via hidden secret cameras. There are over 5,000 of them, going from being inside of buttons on people's shirts so they can get face shot. His wedding ring has a camera in it. That's basically the world that Truman lives in, and he does not know.
The scope of this thing is absolutely ridiculous. If you think like, oh, he's in a TV show and he doesn't know it and his entire life's being filmed, you think, yeah, okay, they're just in a town and they're just like people around him manipulating it. But no, they've constructed the entire world for him. Like, so when you first watch this film, both of you, right, I always knew going into this that Jim Carrey is in a TV show and he doesn't know it, right? Is that something that the audience knew going in, or do you go in watching it and you don't understand what's happening until halfway through when you get the big twist?
No, the opening scene is an interview with Christoph, and they explain a little bit. So there is at no point does the viewer not know.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
show.
straight from the beginning, which it would be interesting that if you're watching it and then you'd be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, that was my question. Do you think it would have been a better film if you'd not known and they kept it quiet?
I need to talk about this right now because this is something I needed to bring up. Right, I have said ever since I saw it years ago that I wish that we had a version of this film where you did not know whether it was real or not. So after watching it many times, I've gone through every scene, and I am going to make a recut of this film titled The Schizophrenia Recut, where you cut out all of the talking head interviews, all of the fans, all of the people watching it, and all that kind of stuff. The guy in the bath, all that shit, right? I'm going to cut out all that. I could probably get an hour out of it, I reckon. And it'll just be Truman. I'll keep in all the weird camera angles and that, because that adds to like the paranoia and stuff. And you could do it all the way. So even the bits where he's driving and he can't get out of the town because they all block, but his wife's with him as well. She doesn't acknowledge the fact that the cars are blocking the road. She just says, Truman, you're scaring me. That could be all part of his schizophrenia. And the ending as well, where God talks to him, that could be, that could be part of it as well. It is so doable. Yeah. I just don't have the tools at the moment to get that done. But I will do it, right? And we can post it on our YouTube.
That would be interesting.
You could do that. Or you could watch, thinking about it now, you could actually watch Don't Worry... Well, I don't know if you guys have seen Don't Worry, Darling. Seen that?
Maybe. Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
I don't want to spoil
Florence
anything.
Pugh and Harry Styles.
Oh, that film is terrible. Oh, that film is awful.
But
It is.
same sort of storyline with, but told from the point of view where she might be going mad. I'm not saying it's like in the same league at all. I promise.
I just want to know, right? So, what is the end game for the Truman Show? Like, how is this show ever going to end? Is this just going to go for the rest of his life until he's an old man and he dies and they never tell him? Or are they going to wait till he's on his deathbed and the crew are just going to jump out and be like, surprise, you're on a TV show for the past 90 years? Like, because there's got to be a cut-off point where telling somebody that would, like, damage him, like, not psychically, damage him psychologically beyond repair. Like,
well, I think they're way past that anyway. Imagine him now, when he gets out, he's not going to trust any fucker for the rest of his life.
Is he?
Ever.
after the second act mental breakdown that Truman has, Christoph has an interview where he is in talks of having the first on-air conception in history. So essentially what they're doing is they plan on carrying on the Truman Show forever because they're going to get Truman to have a son. And they will film the son as well. And I don't know if this is in an outtake or a deleted scene, but no, sorry, Christoph explains that there will be 2 TV shows. As he gets older, there will be 2. There'll be Truman Show and there'll be whatever his son's name is show. And they will run side by side. And if they ever come into contact, which they will probably quite a lot, it will just be double screen. So you could watch one on one TV and one on the other and it'll be the same thing. And it'll just follow them basically going about their day. And then you imagine when Truman eventually dies, maybe of old age or whatever, then his son has a son, it'll just go on forever and this bloodline will just be actors forever.
This is
like Coronation Street.
This is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. Like, it's so weird. It's just fucking bad.
It's probably a good time to talk about this now. As we talk through this, I'm going to tell you about the original screenplay by Andrew Nichols. Okay. There are, I would say, about 70% of it goes straight into the Truman Show, but the 30% that has been changed is very, very different. And he actually has way more of an ending than we get in this film. Okay. So I'll tell you a little bit about that now. So the things that they left out, the original Truman Show, it wasn't going to be called Truman. I can't remember what the name was, but they changed it to represent he is the true man. So yeah, take from that what you will. However, it was supposed to be set in a soundstage version of New York. Truman was an alcoholic. He was a violent man. He went to prostitutes, all this kind of stuff. It was more action-based and more of a thriller kind of thing. So because this was around 97 when it was...
you just know they would have had Will Smith in the role.
My life would be so different if this film didn't come out the way it did. But if they ever remake this film, which there's a possibility they will, I would love them to do the original screenplay remake and make it like Jacob's Ladder, very dark, very city orientated, all the shit around him, he doesn't know if it's real or not. And basically what I would do if I was going to remake it was I would leave the question open, like James said earlier on, and like how I explained earlier on. So just leave out all the camera stuff as well, all the crew. And, so as we go on, when you talk about stuff, I'll try and pick out some of the original screenplay stuff to go with it as well. That was essentially what it was. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I say, Truman is the only person, he's the only real person in this falsely constructed world, and he doesn't know that he's on a TV show. So everyone around him is in on the act, but the 3 people that mostly manipulate Truman's life are his mother, his best friend, Marlon, and his wife, played by Laura Linney. So can we talk about these 3 characters?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's his quote-unquote mother, who is just an actress. So Truman is like not a foundling, but he's an unwanted baby that was purchased by the corporation, legally adopted by the corporation to be in this show. So this is his mother, and she is such a gaslighting, horrible piece of work. There's a bit where Truman tries to drive over the water and he can't do it, and he comes back. So his mother's there talking to him, and she's like, Truman, I've never blamed you for the accident that you caused. And he's like, oh, thanks, Mom. It's like, my blood was boiling watching the way she spoke to him. I thought, you horrible woman.
She is an absolute piece of shit. So have you ever heard of True Talk? It's it actually shows it towards the end of the film. It's like, like, did you ever see The Talking Dead? It was like
and like talking bad and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this was True Talk, and they made that for this. And I actually haven't seen them, but I've heard a lot about them. They're probably on YouTube, I think. And they're not canonical, but they are essentially canonical. So in that, it explains that his mother, she is actually called Angela in the film. I can't remember what the actress's name is, the fictional actress's name is, but she was like a very well-known daytime TV actress in the world of Truman Show. Okay. And they hired her because she was like Rita from Coronation Street. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of Coronation
She
Street
was
references. Don't I like it.
Yeah, I know. We should carry it on, maybe.
A familiar face that everyone would
so
feel comfortable around.
Yeah, like that all-American. She's been in loads of stuff, and she's she's iconic and stuff. And another thing that I always thought was, she is so bitter towards him. Like, you would think that a woman who essentially raised a child, even if it was an adopted child, you know, and even if she's an actress, she should still have love for this kid.
No.
However, it's theorized that the reason why she isn't, because if you think about like the first 3-4 years of the TV show, The Truman Show, it would be fucking well boring. Like, especially like the first year, it's just a baby sleeping and that, you know, and a bunch of actors. Like, it would be like that Big Brother season 1, very experimental, very unfinished kind of look around it. But if you think about it, so let's say the first 4 or 5 years, she was the main character, right? She probably kept up all the acting. She probably kept to her script, went about her daily business, and the camera just fawns over Truman as a baby. And of America and the world love this baby, and she's getting all the attention from it. And as he gets older, he actually becomes the main character when he's playing out with his friends and stuff. The cameras aren't on her anymore. He could be out for the whole day, you know. The cameras are on him all day long. And then suddenly she's not getting the attention. Her pay's probably gone down, and then her hate for Truman has probably started going up.
Yeah. She should be more grateful, shouldn't she? She's got a job for life with this, hasn't she? Yeah. So the next character that's manipulating Truman in his life is his best friend Marlon, played by Noah Emmerich, who, speaking of The Walking Dead...
The only thing I know him from. Other than that.
Same. I think he's got to be in the X-Files. He's got to be in the X-Files. Don't look. I want to come across him naturally.
I won't say anything, but I swear I've seen him in stuff before.
So he gives a very powerful performance a bit later on when Truman's having his breakdown, and he's sent to like go and convince Truman that this world is real when it isn't. And Christoph's giving him the words in his earpiece, and it's really powerful. And the music is so emotional. And as I was watching, I was like, oh god, he's really speaking from the heart. He's talking about when they were kids and they'd get in trouble together, and it only mattered because they were together. And I was like, oh, those words. And then you see that it's Ed Harris whispering in his ear, and I was like, you fucking cunt, I hate you, bastard. Oh god.
I know I've seen him in you guys ever seen The Good Nurse with Eddie, what's his name?
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Redmayne. And Jessica Chastain. It's like a horror film based on like this nurse in real life who was killing people.
No.
Oh yeah, Good Nurse.
Yeah, but it's a Good Nurse with an asterisk on.
Yeah. More of a television actor by the look of it.
So, you know the scene that we just spoke about when they're on the bridge and he's brought the beers and we'll get to the shameless advertising
when we talk about Laura Linney
at some point. Yeah. So he's talking and he says to Truman, we played Explorers and I slept in the tent with you all night. And he was like, I got pneumonia. And he was like, you were off school sick for a month. And he's just like, yeah. It's because he went on holiday.
Yeah, I know.
But one more very, very important thing while we're talking about this scene. If you look at Truman's face, right, when Marlon says, I'm your best friend, I wouldn't lie to you. Truman has a look on his face, right, where he is just like, something clicks.
Yeah.
And a lot of people believe that this is the moment that he just knows. This is when he fucking full on believes that he is being lied to.
So we'll go to character number 3, manipulator number 3, who I think is the absolute standout in this film. I think this is Truman's wife. Truman's wife Meryl, played by Laura Linney, and this was a stellar performance. Like, she is just so unsettling, like insincere. Everything she says, she's so wooden. There's just no warmth to her at all. She's just constantly smiling, and like the NPC dialogue when she's doing those product placement ads are just so funny.
So good.
Like, she even does one a bit later on, just after Truman's had a bit of a meltdown. She does it with the coffee in front of him, and he's like, what the hell are you talking? Why are you talking like that? And you think like the producers would be like, listen, don't put that in now, because she's got to like, no, capitalism rules again. It's like, get the ads in there.
This is what I was thinking. I was like, surely, like, just give it a rest. You'll go back to normal. But, and then I was thinking, like, the producers would be like, oh my god, Nestle have been in touch, and they haven't had the adverts. They ain't gonna sign that check, buddy. We need to get her on the thing.
Just have like anybody
what?
else do it. Just anybody else that isn't in the same room as Truman.
Imagine having the production company get a phone call from the coffee company saying, because this is the most watched this program has ever been, we will pay you X amount of money to advertise it right now. And then she gets that in her ear and she goes, why don't you have a cup of this? Because like that's the theme of the show, isn't it? You know, it's the theme of the film.
It's just very funny, very funny.
Can I just say as well, right? Mentioning how this isn't a horror film, but how this has affected me probably more than most horror films ever. That fake acting when she's advertising stuff scares the fuck out of me. Yeah. Imagine, right? My missus has done it before when she's bought something from the shop and she walks in and she's just like, she tells me about it and holds it like that, and I'm just like, oh my god, stop, because you're scaring the fuck out of me. Like, oh god, just everything about her plastic performance. That white picket fence 1950s thing. Oh my god,
it's just the whole world is just like it's like uncanny, like
uncanny valley.
It is uncanny.
It's just bizarre.
James, I think I sent you a video on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and it was just showing small towns from films, and it was like these uncanny film sets, and Truman Show was in it, and also I can't remember what else was in it as well. But
was Blue Velvet in it probably?
Probably, yeah, and can't remember all of the other ones, but it's not that important. But the theme of what I was saying was, sorry, I don't want to go off again, but the reason why it is that white picket 1950s American sweetheart kind of thing going on through the whole film is because white Americans believed that was like a time that was just like a magical time where everything was wholesome and everything was proper American and true and all that, and that's why they want to keep that thing. So that's why the music in it is like 50s kind of music, but as well as, this is something that I'm probably going off the topic a little bit here. So throughout the film, on the radio and stuff, it's all classical music.
Yeah.
And that's because you don't have to have a license to play that music. So they wouldn't have had to pay to play the music.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's old music. And it's also seen as quite wholesome and like kind of like intellectual and stuff. So he's just getting all this goodness pumped into him. The 1950s wholesomeness. Sorry, I'm going to try to stop saying that word so often. The 1950s wholesomeness, the old school classical stuff, like there isn't any violence in his life. You know, he probably never gets shown boxing or anything like that. You know.
Yeah. And with this being 1998, you'd expect him to be playing The Chronic by Dre or something like that, but nope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, for the most part, Truman is compliant and happy with this life that he's in. He has an okay job as an insurance salesman, and he lives in one of the nicest places in the world. But there's a burning desire inside him, like not only does he want to travel the world, but he wants to go to Fiji specifically, because we learn in a flashback that during his high school days, Truman met and fell in love with a woman named Lauren, who was an extra on the show, but this wasn't scripted. So every time he tries to meet her, like events conspire to just like get in the way, right? Because the first time he spots her, he's at band practice and he like looks over and he's meant to meet Meryl. It's scripted for him to meet Meryl. So he looks over and he catches the eye of Lauren, who's having a picnic, and he like falls instantly in love. And Marlon notices this, and Marlon just goes up to him and starts playing the trumpet directly in his face, like trying to distract him. It's so funny. I was crying with laughter.
It is hilarious.
Oh god.
Hey Dan, that little trumpet thing you just did, was that Aladdin?
Star Wars.
Oh
yeah, it was.
I can see why you thought Aladdin though, because that's a good.
It sounds like from the Super Nintendo Aladdin game.
Oh, it does it. No, that's or is that The Mask? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have a listen later.
No, The Mask was. You mean the cartoon of The Mask?
No, it is. It's Aladdin. It's from the Aladdin game. Yeah, the platform game. Yeah. So basically, Truman sneaks off with Lauren to go on a date. She passes him a secret note that says, "If we don't go now, it'll never happen." So she is going again. She's breaking kayfabe here. She's like takes him off, and they run off to spend time on the beach. So she knows she's not supposed to be doing this, and she knows that the producers will cut their time off as soon as they find them together. And she's proved right when her quote unquote dad turns up on the beach driving this Hummer. He's like, he bundles her into the car, and she's like, Truman, this is not real. None of this is real. She's trying to warn him and say, listen, you're in a TV show. But she doesn't quite come out and say it because she's panicking. And her dad's like, yep, she's schizophrenic, don't worry. And man, we're moving to Fiji. Bye. And Truman never saw her again.
The literal furthest place away from America.
Yeah, because later on, like, Truman's like, I want to go and visit Fiji. And Marlon's like, well, where's that? Is that near Florida?
Yeah.
In the original script, it's Australia.
Oh, is it?
Not that matters, but...
This bit was I was a bit like, on this, but because obviously they've got to, like, get her as soon as possible before she, like, tells any more lies. And I was like, that's fucking mad. He just drives over in, like, his nice... like Luther Volvo, and he's driving over these sand dunes. And I was watching it with Izzy, and she was like, "How can his car drive over all that like so well?" He's just like, "Whoa." But it's like extreme measures to like get it back, and Truman must be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So this is really sad. So ever since Lauren, whose real name is Sylvia, because she says my real name's Sylvia, so ever since Sylvia got carted away in that Volvo, Truman has tried to recreate a picture of her from his memories. So he's been ripping out pictures of models from magazines, and he's like made this little collage to try and like recreate her face, which he eventually does. But I found it quite interesting that he stores this picture behind a picture of his wife as well in his basement. Very symbolic.
Nice. Yeah. I was thinking as well, those magazines that they keep getting, they must obviously have to create those within the thing, because he can't see like any outside news or anything.
No, that's true.
No, because he'd be in every magazine.
Yeah.
But there would be celebrities and stuff that he wouldn't have heard of because he can't have any kind of connection to.
Yeah.
There will be celebrities who are fans of his or who aren't fans of the TV show. Like, he would have some kind of existence in other celebrities' lives, so he couldn't have something that would be natural, because there would be somehow there would be a link to him.
Well,
and he can never find
they all
out.
read a magazine called Dog Fancy. Did you notice that?
No.
A couple of times that it shows like the newsagent, and people come in and they're like, I'll have the newest issue of Dog Fancy, please. And say, what the hell is that magazine about? But it reminded me of the entire town reminded me of the town from The Prisoner, the village from The Prisoner, that 1960s absolute acid trip of a spy show. I love that show.
While we're mentioning the town, we should also note that this is a real place, by the way, and it's called Seaside. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the future, but I think it's somewhere in Florida. And in one scene we see two people. It's when he goes in front of the bus and he does all this in front of the cars and stuff. We see an oldish man and an oldish woman. The man's wearing a big brimmed hat and glasses. That man and woman are the founders of the real life town, which is called Seaside.
Oh, okay.
And they built it as almost like as what it is for Truman. It's like a safe haven kind of town where people can just go and live, and there's no violence. Everywhere's clean. There are no homeless people and that kind of stuff. But they let the crew basically use the town, and as like a thank you, the production crew built like a new school, I think, for them.
Nice.
And that's why it looks so real. So the shop that Marlon works in is a real shop, and it still is today.
Right.
It's an actual shop. So this place does exist. You can go there. We should go there. James should go there when he next goes to America.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's got more chance of going there than we have. So Truman begins to notice a bunch of strange coincidences which slowly start to clue him in to the fact that reality isn't quite what he thinks it is. The first of which is when he's sitting on the beach and he gets caught in this downpour which only lands on him. It's like this Bugs Bunny cartoon. The water gets shot directly down onto him. And I'm like, why would they do this? Like, are they just being dicks to like mess with him? Like the water... And he runs to the left and the cloud follows him. It's like a cartoon logic.
Right, I've got a theory behind this. Okay, so there is an understanding within people who are fans of this film that this whole set is, at the oldest, around 30 years old, right? They have become quite complacent, like a light falling out of the sky, with the fake sky, which is a star. The technology that they're using, because they can't really upgrade it too much, is getting a bit shit. So, like, that's why he keeps on hearing frequencies over the radios and stuff like that. So I assume that their technology is getting a bit crap, and they need to just basically spend some money on it and update it and stuff. So he gets this one bit of rain. So they localize the rain, as they say later, localize the storm over the boat. They localize the rain over him, but it only comes out of one of the things, right? And this rain, because they're not going to make it rain, probably not going to make it rain over the whole town. So they can only make it rain in his proximity. So the rain follows him, right? So when they put it on, it's only one bit by accident. But when it was all on together, which it was, all of the rain would follow him. So he wouldn't even know because he would just see rain everywhere.
That's what I was thinking as well.
But they fucked it up by just having one
so
bit of rain. And it followed him because that's how it sort of works.
I thought they were just being bellends. Like.
No, I think, like you said, like it's meant to, that the others just don't work at the time and then they catch up, don't they? I think that's what.
They catch up, yeah. And then I imagine the rain follows him wherever he's going. So that it's always raining. Because it is the size, you can see this thing from space. It's probably the size of a state, like an American state. So they're not going to have the water to produce rain over the whole thing. Yeah. So they're going to localize it over him and move it with him.
It must cost an absolute fortune to run that dome. Oh, no, they say it's like a GDP of a small country, don't they? That's what they say.
Well, do you know how they make money as well as obviously the advertisement, but do you know how else they make money?
Yeah, it's all
he does mention it.
It's like you can buy the houses, you can buy the outfits and stuff like that, all from like the catalogue and stuff like that, which is like.
When it cuts to the fans watching, there's a couple of old ladies and they're wearing dressing gowns.
Yeah.
And they're lying watching it together.
Do you know who one of those old ladies is? Do you recognise the actress?
No.
So one of the old ladies that falls asleep in the other one's arms, she's from The Running Man. She's the one who says that Ben Richards is one mean motherfucker.
No way.
I think it was her.
What? So you don't have proof?
I haven't looked it up, but I recognise her face.
Definitely not her. I got well excited.
No, I mean it is her. It's just because I haven't confirmed it. Anyway,
what was her name in that? Wasn't Gladys? Was it? Have I just made that up?
Oh yeah, maybe. Anyway, carry on, Paul. What were you saying?
You see that they're wearing dressing gowns. Well, I can't remember now if it's Truman's wife or his mum. In an earlier scene, one of those is wearing that dressing gown. So it just shows that you can buy everything. And when it shows that as an advert, it shows a guy wearing like the hat that Truman wears and like a shirt that he wears and stuff like that. So they're like, everything in this show you can buy and you can have at home. Yeah. And it's pretty funny.
But it doesn't seem like that inconceivable nowadays, does it? This whole...
The dome.
The idea of like having... I mean, Jeff Bezos could just build that if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the idea of actually tricking someone into thinking that they're
that's
in a real world?
That's fucked still. But the idea of like having this massive fake planet. And...
Do you know about the guy, that Japanese guy? He went on a game show where he had to live in like a house or a room, and they didn't give him anything. They had to make him bet on stocks and stuff to earn food and water and stuff. And he lived in it for about a year, I think. I'll cut it a bit short, but at the end they they moved him around a couple of times, and they didn't tell him why, I don't think. And in the end he was just sitting naked, like doing his daily thing, and all the walls just fell down, and he was in front of an entire studio audience who just started clapping at him.
I've seen,
and he was like,
I have seen that.
Yeah.
It's like a Mr. Beast challenge.
Like that guy.
Do you know what my favourite Japanese game show is? Apart from Takeshi's Castle, of course. But do you know what the funniest Japanese game show I've seen recently is? Like a short of it on Instagram.
Battle Royale,
hell yeah. No, have you seen the one where there's like a house and it's on a 45-degree angle on a tilt and somebody has to serve tea?
No.
I've seen it on Instagram.
So basically, there's a table at a 45-degree angle and there's like a family sitting there, and then the contestant has to come out and serve tea without falling down this hill. Oh man! Now that I would
imagine that over here, like, on Challenge next. Hosted by Chris Tarrant.
Celebrity version.
Craig Charles.
A celebrity version with like I don't know, Stephen Fry just trying to serve a twine into Yeah. So this second crazy thing that happens to Truman is, now this is pretty fucking fucked up. So the second craziest thing that happens to Truman is when he meets this dishevelled looking homeless dude in the streets, and he bashes into him, and then he stops and they look at each other, and Truman recognises this dude as his father, but the guy is immediately rushed by like the Men in Black, or for, and like bundled onto this bus and like driven away. And at the same time, because this is such a panic stations moment, like loads of TV producers come out of nowhere. They're all wearing crew gear and they just grab Truman and just get in his way. Like that must have been like, do you know, because they use other characters for things like that, but they must have thought, oh shit, we weren't expecting this one. It's literally the TV crew, but Truman doesn't notice because he's so like focused on the guy that he thinks is his dad. Well, that was a nice little touch.
It is, yeah. We see this a lot later on as things start to unravel.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
With people who clearly are just actors and who have no idea what they're doing. I'll give you an example. When he goes to the travel agent, the woman walks out and she's got a napkin around there. I always thought it was a food napkin kind of thing, so she didn't get food on it. But it's actually a makeup napkin.
Oh,
when
right, okay.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
People are before they go on set, they get their makeup done, and that's what it is. And she sits down and she looks down, and she goes like that and pulls it off. And she doesn't have a clue. She's just clicking away. Yeah. She's just clickety-clacketing away on the computer because she doesn't know what she's doing. Same with like the bus driver trying to drive the boat. And
the guy, he's like, they're acting is what you want. He's not a boat captain.
Yeah. Even Marlon, when he's, do you remember the scene when Truman goes in and he's stacking the vending machine? When Truman turns around, he takes a load of them out and starts putting them back in. Just because he doesn't know what to do, because he's trying to look busy as well, and Truman turns around, just grabs them and just starts putting them back.
Because we're talking about that scene now, you know when he's like, look, I'll prove it to you, and he turns around and he claps really loud and nobody looks or anything because they're trained to just like keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
thing is though, like that is creepy. It reminds me of like Vanilla Sky when he's in the bar and he goes, I wish everyone would just shut the fuck up and everything now, and everything just goes silent, and he just turns around, they're all looking at him. It's like that kind of stuff is just so creepy to me.
Yeah.
And if you see just after that when Truman walks out, he spanks the guy who's like up a ladder, and the guy just no sells it completely, and Truman's just like that. I fully believe that was Jim Carrey just going off doing his own thing, like he's very well known to do and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before that, we do one of the first things we see in the film is the light falls out of the sky, and it says on the light Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky. Yeah. And then he starts driving, and is it Good Time Charlie? Fuck, the radio DJ's name, I can't remember his name. He explains it as an aeroplane was passing over and a part of the aeroplane had fallen. Good job, no one got hurt. Airplane's dangerous, don't get on one soon, and this kind of thing. And one of the other opening scenes that we get is Truman doing some gardening. His wife comes up, she does the really creepy advertisement, and he's like, okay, that's amazing. Another theory that is out there is Truman is digging his escape tunnel in the opening of the film, right? He already knows, he's known for a long time, he knows before us, he is digging his escape tunnel for the end. And the film is really everyone else figuring out that he already knows.
Okay.
What do you reckon about that little theory?
I think they've just seen something and just added a theory around it. Because you do get the moments where Truman realizes what's going on, like we've just described. Like he sees his dad, and then we'll get to this one now. So this bit where he's driving his car and something happens, the radio malfunctions, and he comes across what he thinks is a police band, except it's describing his every move. It's like he's turning left. And then he nearly hits that woman, and like, oh my god, he's hit that woman, and he's just like, what the hell is up with this radio? Like, so we do see like him. Again, we do see reality breaking down for him. So this is the thing. Like, I don't think he knows till the film starts, till after, till the events of the film.
Yeah, but even though it's just a theory and there's no proof for it, no one's ever came out and said that is it. If you like theories, you could like look into that a little bit more. As he is suspected since Sylvia told him, because that's definitely when it would have started, and ever since he has been building his way.
Yeah, maybe
these things that are happening aren't just happening for the film; they've happened before. Little things, and it's just building and building.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's not important. It's just a bit of fun.
I mean, yeah. If you want that as your headcanon, if you want to choose to believe that, then yeah.
I don't, but I have heard it.
Yeah. So Truman starts having this little mini freak out where he believes he's being followed, and he just does this. It's really great acting from Jim Carrey. He just sort of sits there looking around at people, everything that's going on, people having fake conversations, and it's just really subtle. I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good, this bit. bit. So he goes into this, he's trying to act spontaneous, so he sort of sprints into this building that he's not supposed to be in. When he tries to get into the lift, tries to follow this woman into the lift, and then the lift door opens and there's like a mistiming from the crew, and he notices that the entire building is fake, and like he just sees the crew, they're at all the catering table with like a table full of sandwiches, and they're just like and he gets like, they just bundle him out, they're like, get out of here you, and they throw him out, they're like, shit. He's just seen that.
Do you remember how they explain that, or they try and this is why he says there was an elevator accident, which it doesn't look like that at all, but she said like a load of union workers have got injured because, and that's sort of explaining what those people were doing there or whatever, I don't know, but it doesn't really explain it that well, but
no,
that just shows they're not capable of explaining this very, very obvious.
Well, we're coming up to that bit now, but just quickly before the hospital scene. So he goes home, and Truman and his wife and his mother are all looking through some old childhood photos to prove that he's been outside of Sea Haven. This fake picture of him at the what's that mountain called? Mount Rushmore. Yeah, it just looks so fake. And he's like, God, it looks so small. And she's like, well, these things do in photos, don't they? It's just like fobs him off. And then she's like, I just want grandchildren before you go, because I mean, if he did have kids, because Truman's a good guy, he wouldn't be able to tear himself away, would he? So they're like, right, we need to get her pregnant.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny at that bit, because so when Laura Linney drives his mum home, like Truman's watching TV, and the program comes on TV, and it's like, you know, to try and like sort of calm him down. It's like the host's like, coming up next, studies have found that staying home and not going out anywhere ever leads to eternal happiness. The entire world is just against him.
The entire world around him is just brainwashing him into never ever leaving or never wanting to leave.
Now I found this bit really creepy, because while he's browsing through the photos of his wedding day, he finds a picture of himself kissing his wife, and she's got her fingers crossed during the ceremony, and I was like, oh, that is chilling. Ooh, sent a chill down my spine.
Yeah, and the way he finds it is so good.
Oh my God. I've always had this, I think I can pinpoint when it started, but I've always had this thing about creepy little details in photos, and when the character looks at it and has a realization. Oh my God. So I was told this story right when I was very little. This is one of my earliest memories. My mum told me this, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was an old woman with a jigsaw puzzle. As she started making the puzzle, it started to look very familiar. She got close to the end of the puzzle and she realized it was her house. As she got to the end, the last part, it revealed her window and she could see herself. And on the last puzzle piece she puts in, there's a man standing behind her. Right. And then she turns round, and then my mum would just go, ah, like that.
Then who was phone?
Yeah, but I was told that when I was like 5 or something. That scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah.
Also, do you remember the witches from the 90s?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you remember the little girl appearing in the
Oh shit, yeah. Oh,
that fucking terrifying.
is that the one when the painting gets burned and then she is like trying to get out the window? I must be thinking of something else. I remember it from the witches, but is that what happens? No, that's something else. So somebody gets trapped inside a painting and the painting gets burned, and then the painting changes to show somebody trying to get through the bars of a prison. What's that?
Wait, that's not Wishmaster, is it? Is that happening in the Wishmaster?
That could be Wishmaster.
Somebody gets put
as well.
in a painting and it burns down.
That could be Wishmaster, actually. Yeah, I think that. Yeah. Oh, what a film that is.
I know. Yeah. You just wait till my choice.
One more thing about that photo album. There's also a picture of Truman as a kid, dressed like a clown, standing behind bars like he's in prison.
Right, okay.
Which is essentially saying he is a clown, he is the show for everybody else to laugh at and to view, and he is also behind bars being imprisoned in this fake world.
Which is his life. So Truman's seen this picture, has put his suspicion into overdrive, so he goes to the hospital where Meryl works, and they're like, sorry, she can't see you now. And he's like, right, well, just tell her I'm going to Fiji then. And like, they said, what?
Okay, I'll tell her.
They say she can't see him because she's prepping for surgery, so he sneaks into the off-limits part of the hospital where he's not supposed to happy at some of these obstacles that are trying to stop him. But like this battalion of old people in wheelchairs come flying at him like they're like a herd of bison, like laser pointed on him to try and he like ducks into this side room. That is so funny. I lolled.
It is very funny.
And then the next dude who's like pushing that, what is it, like a shelving unit on wheels, and every time he tries to get past him, he's like, oh sorry. It's like it was like a Mario level, you know, where you've got to like duck something and it's coming down the corridor and you can't get past. In the end, Truman's just like, hey, let me help you, and just tips the thing over. It's like, fucking get out of the way. Yeah. But we get to he does enter the surgery unit, and they've hastily put this together because they're like, shit, he's in the building. So they put together this, like, they will slice somebody down, this actress on the table, and then pretend that surgery is about to happen. So Truman's watching, he's like about to see the surgery take place, and the guy that's playing the doctor, he drops something and it makes a loud bang, and then the patient sits up, goes, ah! It's just this absolute shit show.
Do you know what I always thought was the guy who is about to do the incision on this very, very awake woman? He could have just walked round, so he blocked the view and pretended to do it, and then handed the thing over.
Yeah.
But obviously, we don't want these people figuring out how to trick him anymore. So it's sound.
Yeah. So Truman's had enough, and he finally decides, that's it. I'm just going. So he goes to book the flight to Fiji. He goes to see that travel agent that we mentioned before, but she's just like, oh no, I don't have anything for at least a month to anywhere. And he's like, ridiculous. So he goes.
He's like a month. And she's like, yeah, it's the busy season. And I was watching it with my missus last night, and I was like, who is busy? Are the aeroplanes busy? Are they all full? There's only about 100 people on this whole island. Like, I'm surprised they even have an airport.
I'm surprised they've got a travel agent.
Drive over to go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. They could have just taken that out, really, couldn't they? But did you see on all the walls of the travel agents as well? It's like all the posters of like a plane getting struck by lightning, and there's one poster, right, that says, before you travel, think about disease, street gangs, wild animals. It's fucking mental. Like the amount of brainwashing they're trying to do to just keep him there. And so
he tries to get on this bus to Chicago, and it's as soon as he steps on it, it's like the passengers on this bus, it's like that scene in House of Wax where he goes into the church. They're all just like staring straight forward. None of them are moving. And of course the bus doesn't go anywhere. It has mechanical problems. Everybody has to get off, and Truman is very sad, and even the driver feels sorry for him at this point. The driver's like, I'm sorry, son. It doesn't say anything else, and Truman's like staring out the window. It's like, oh god. Did
you notice though, all these people in the bus, they're all like stereotypical like career people. So there's like a sailor and there's like there's like two nuns. It's like, give a child a piece of paper and get them to draw like a bunch of people or like a bunch of jobs that they could have when they're older. It'd be fireman, policeman, soldier, sailor, nun. You know what I mean? Like back when we were younger.
Because it's like
not now.
The 50s of America as well. It's like everybody's got like a really good job for the nation.
Yeah, so Truman takes Meryl hostage in the car. She comes home from work and he like just grabs her. He's like, get in here. He's proper starting to lose his mind at this point. So he points out that there are a bunch of NPCs walking around the block in an endless loop. Is the guy with the flowers, the beat up beetle, and then is it a woman riding a bike?
So a lady on a bike.
They just go round and round.
He does get to show a bit of his Jim Carrey acting chops at this point, where you can be a bit crazy.
Dying to come out at this point.
He basically kidnaps his own wife and he takes her on this Grand Theft Auto joyride across Sea Haven, and like he's trying to leave basically. So every road he comes across, it's just got like idiot slow moving traffic just pulls out in front of him and just blocks the road. Right now, this got me thinking. Right, so every single day I encounter slow moving traffic that stops me from getting where I want to be. So I can only conclude that I am in the Truman Show.
Oh my god, Paulie knows.
Oh shit.
So they get to the bridge, and Truman is like, I can't do it. And she's like, Truman, you know you can't drive over water. Let's just go home. And he's like, he puts her hand on the wheels, like, just speeds across the bridge. He's got this Jason Voorhees like fear of water.
No, that's what I was going to say.
He says he wants to go. Did he say he wants to go Mardi Gras or something like that? But then he says, I don't. Let's go to Atlantic City, and he reverses back, does another lap around the roundabout, goes back down the same road, and all the cars are gone. And he's like, you see that? How did they all disappear? So in the original story, this was the same, but when he was saying Atlantic City, it cut to the production, and they said, how fast can we get Atlantic City built up? Can we get the the stages out of storage. So it's heavily implied that they've built a fake Atlantic City. And also one more thing that I'll tell you now, because I don't know whether I'll fit it in later anywhere. They had actually planned, because he was obsessed with going to Australia in the original draft. There was a scene where the production had planned to build as close to as they can a giant version of Sydney. So what they would do would fly him up in a plane, drug him, tell him he fell asleep, land in fake Sydney, and let him have his holiday. Okay. And then that would convince him. But obviously they wouldn't do that in this film because that's just like too much, I think. But it's a good idea, you know, it's a good bit of lore.
Yeah, so they're trying to drive out of town, and they see these signs for forest fire, and these flames come shooting across the road, and he's like, "Nope, going through it." You know, like he's Schwarzenegger, just goes straight through. They get further down the road, and they find out that there's been a leak at the nuclear plant. I didn't know there was a nuclear plant, so they have to go.
How fast do you reckon they built that? They were like, "Oh my god, he's gone over the bridge."
I think that's their contingency plan. I think this is their last resort.
Do you know what? I think that's there to block off a good chunk of the exit of the island, because if you exit the island at any point, they could say you can't go past this nuclear plant. There's too much going on. It's too dangerous. Blah blah blah. There are a number of excuses that they could use that he probably couldn't explain and tell them why they're wrong and all that kind of thing.
Just thinking about it now, so they're obviously real cars that they're driving, right? Where are all the fumes going?
Maybe it's like the Liverpool
extractor fan. I guess.
Yes, maybe it's like the Liverpool tunnel. They've got that huge extractor fan thing in Birkenhead, which is why everyone in Birkenhead is mental. So maybe it's that. Sorry to any listeners from Birkenhead. So they get told they've got to turn around, and obviously Laura Linney is like, "Yeah, come on, let's turn around." But one of the actors playing a cop gives the game away when he uses Truman's name. He's like, "Thank you, officer," and he's like, "You're welcome, Truman." And then that's just like the final. That is the straw that broke the camel's back. He knows now. He's like, this is not on. We get a very funny chase scene with Jim Carrey and his hilarious running while these like silver men in hazmat ET suits chase him down and capture him and take him back to Sea Haven. Very scary stuff.
That freaked me out as well. I've mentioned it on podcast before. I can't remember which film.
It was one of our X-Files episodes. It was our most recent X-Files episode, released on the 10th of this month.
But yeah, hazmat suits, very, very scary. Getting chased through. Do you know what as well? This woods, heavily wooded area that he runs through, I don't know if you noticed, but all the trees are perfectly lined up. They are fake trees. They're not fake trees. It's a man-made forest. Yeah. And I mentioned it earlier while James was having a poo. That this place, yeah, sure. This place is a real man-made town called Seaside, and this forest that they basically erected themselves is planted like that on purpose because they are like real. It's just another element to this whole fakeness of everything. Kind of reminds me of the forest from Mortal Kombat 1995. Johnny Cage, Scorpion, those lined trees. Oof, creepy.
So Truman is back home, and the family are all gaslighting him into believing he's mentally ill. So he gets into a physical fight with his wife, and as he's got her around the throat, she starts waving a potato peeler at him.
It's what she advertises to him in one of the opening scenes. She's like, it slices, dices, and peels, or something like that. He's like, that's amazing. And when she pulls it on him, he's like, what are you going to do? You're going to slice me? You're going to dice me? Like re-quotes her advert back to her.
Yeah, so he grabs her and like holds her hostage, and she calls out for help from the producers, which makes him go even more mental. Like she's like, somebody do something. He's like, who are you on about? Who are you talking to?
This is the bit that I've seen the most of this film. It's so good.
Terrifying.
So the producers quickly send Marlon over, and he diffuses the situation with a 6-pack and a heart-to-heart, and this is where we get that really emotional talking to.
Did you even see the way that he entered the building as well? The door opens and the beers are shown first as he walks through. The 6-pack comes through the door first, and then he's like, hey Truman, I've been trying to call you, or whatever like that. But it's even then in that, because we mentioned it earlier, she just before he lashes out at her, she does that fake advertisement thing. And then even in these situations where it's so crucial to keep him calm, they still having Marlon coming through advertising the beers, straight away. God.
Yeah, so after their emotional chat, Marlon presents Truman with his missing father, who slowly emerges from the fog, and the two are reunited in a very emotional moment, which, again, like, it's all nice for Truman, but then it's like, you see it from the production end of things, and it's just like bullshit. Like, everyone's slapping Christoph on the back, like, well done, Christoph, oh, what a great move, and he's like, thank you, it's the highest ratings ever. It's like, oh, just fuck off, man. I hate this dude.
It is like beautifully shot though. The camera that they cut to, it just shows the back of Truman with like the wide angle view of the bridge with his dad coming out of the fog. It's beautifully done, but
yeah, and this is
this
is pretty much where you get the reveal that it is a show. This is where like they fully lean into the entire show aspect of it now. They give you like behind the scenes, inside baseball revelations to it, because they first show Ed Harris talking into Marlon's ear, and it's like, who the fuck's this dude? It's that guy from the beginning. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a big look at the world, Truman's world, from the perspective of the TV show. So obviously he lives in that giant Millennium Dome. But my favourite part of this is now we get the blooper reel of people that have tried to get on the show to warn Truman that he's in a show. And oh my god, like, one guy parachutes into the Sea Haven. Like, Truman's there, like picking up his newspaper, and this parachutist stands behind him, like he's Solid Snake, like, getting all his gear off, and he's like, Truman.
The sad thing is though that Truman doesn't even see
No,
him.
he doesn't, do he?
Yeah,
at all. Doesn't even notice it. He's also got a sign on his chest that says "You're on TV." Later on, when Lauren or Sylvia has the phone call interview with Christoph, in the background you can see that sign in her room.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But
I'll talk a bit more about her later when we get to that scene in a few minutes.
That made me think about like the logistics of parachuting, because he would have to have been inside the dome. Did he climb up the dome from the outside, like saw his way in, and then just fall down and parachute in?
I'll tell you what, I'll talk about what I was going to talk about in a bit right now, because it applies to this. So it's heavily implied. I'm going to call her Sylvia because that's her real name, or is it Lauren? I don't know.
Sylvia.
Right. It's heavily implied that she is part of a group that are actively trying to break Truman free, or to let him know that he is on TV. So in the first shot, you should really pause it to get all the information from it, but it's got pictures of different actors from the Truman Show on the wall with little bits of handwriting underneath it. One of them is the news vendor that Truman sees every morning, who gives him his daily paper and his daily women's Cosmopolitan magazine or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it says, scribbled underneath, contacted, said he'll think about it.
Okay.
Another photo is of someone else and it says no chance. Another one is of Marlon and it says prime underneath it and it says yet to be contacted.
Okay.
So my guessing is the
what
parachute.
shot's this?
This is the first shot when it cuts to her and Christoph having a phone interview, because Christoph starts the interviews. The first person asks like the most generic question ever. The second one is like one of those Vince McMahon $1 Million Mania call that just doesn't go through.
No.
And the third one is her.
Quickly, sorry, before you go, do you know what that call that doesn't go through is? He says, he answers it and he says, it's The Hague. And I was like, The Hague? And then it doesn't go through. The Hague is like the International Criminal Court, isn't it, in Europe? So I was thinking, is he like, are they trying to like, are they going to try him or something like that for whatever he's doing? Yeah, he said it's The Hague. Yeah, I spotted that, but I was like, I didn't make a note of it. It's just come back to me now.
But no one speaks that. Like, who says that? Because no one speaks on the phone.
It cuts off, yeah. But he says something like, we've got a call from The Hague. It's definitely, it definitely happens. Vince McMahon $1 Million Mania calls. You're right, yeah, that's what they were like, wasn't it?
So the third phone call is from Sylvia, and it's like a 1 second shot, and it just shows like the photos that are in her apartment, because while she's on the phone, because it's hard to not look at her, because she is the main thing in shot. You're looking at her, but if you look in the background you can see all of these things. Her apartment or house is a fucking shit tip, and there are posters everywhere. There's a poster of Truman as an adult with like fake bars over him, and underneath it is the photo of him as a clown, like the real photo. There's all this like merch and stuff, and there's the poster that the parachuter had on him. So implying that he was part of whatever kind of group, this activist group that she is part of, and she got that back off him somehow. Or, which is probably more likely, because they would have just taken that shit off him, she's recreated it and just had it on a wall or whatever.
No, I like the idea that there's like a Truman Liberation Front out there trying to get him out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was thinking now. So if this was remade today, I think it would cut to scenes outside of the globe, and you'd have like all protests and stuff outside, and there'd be like that angle to it, maybe.
Do you know what this would be? This story would be prime for a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Which Paul and I are covering on the Patreon. So if you want to go over to www.patreon.com/darktalkpod, one of the other good bloopers that made me laugh is the guy that jumps out of the Christmas presents when Truman is a kid. He just jumps out of this gigantic box. He's like, Truman, you're on TV! Woo! And then and Truman's like 4 years old. Oh god.
They just grab him and pull him away, and the guy just falls over, and he's like, I'm on the Truman Show.
Yeah, I don't think he's part of this Truman Liberation group. I think he's just one of the random nutters.
No.
You know, when you were watching the interview, Christoph be interviewed, did you know who the guy interviewing him is?
Yeah, it's the Simpsons dude.
It's Harry Shearer.
Oh, is it?
Harry Shearer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I didn't realise it was him at first, and I recognised his voice. He does like so many adverts on the TV in The Simpsons, like coming up next, make your own ladder and stuff like that.
Finally, the great taste of Worcester sauce in a soft drink.
I was just like, oh my god, I was like, surely that's not him, but it's his voice. Yeah, it's so good.
We also have Philip Glass making an appearance.
Oh, is he?
In a couple of scenes coming up. Yeah, so Philip Glass and another dude, sorry, I can't remember his name, were the writers of the score in this film, bar 2 pieces, I think. 3 pieces. You've got the rockabilly tune from the that band, I can't remember their name.
Who is he in the film?
And then he's playing the piano. So he is playing live.
Oh, yeah.
Which is being pumped through into the actual TV show that people are watching.
Do you remember it cut when is it when his dad comes back and he's like,
I do remember.
Yeah. But also probably the most iconic scene of the film is the giant screen of Truman sleeping.
Yeah.
And Philip Glass is playing the track, which is called Truman Sleeps, as Christoph walks in his dressing gown and a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, watching him. My missus has met Philip Glass, and I'm very, very jealous because I have been listening to Philip Glass since probably around the early 2000s, and I'm a pretty big fan. So. Yeah. And it all coincides with being a fan of this film as well.
So we go back to the Truman Show in universe, and Truman is seemingly back to normal now that his father's returned, although Meryl has left him. So presumably she's taken Christoph to an industrial tribunal over unsafe working conditions. So he's back to his job, and he's like being a top insurance seller, and his new boss introduces a new love interest. You got this new co-worker, she'll be joining you, and it's like, ooh, and then we just never see this woman ever again. It's like...
She is in the search party later on, yeah. But she is introduced to his life way later than she should have done because he's already fully gone at this point.
It's too late. But
they should have.
I guess they weren't planning on it though, was it? It's because of this recent mental breakdown.
Yeah. They should have done it when he started getting rained on, really.
Yeah. So
I reckon.
We'll get into like the final act of the film. Sort of begins here now. So Truman has been cleaning up his basement, and he has fallen asleep while doing so. But he hasn't fallen asleep. He's managed to give the producers the slip, and he snuck out of the basement because, like, when it cuts up to the production room, Paul Giamatti is just like twatting around. He's like, yeah, whatever. And he isn't paying attention. And then when Ed Harris comes in, he's like, where is he? He's like, he's there. He's sleeping. He's like, phone him. It's like no answer. They're like, send Marlon round. So Marlon speeds round right in his truck with another 6-pack in his hand. But when he gets out the truck, he runs out of the truck, leaves the engine running, the door wide open. He's like, Truman, I've got some beers. No, this is the funniest line of the film because Marlon can't find Truman, so he finds this.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
He finds the penguin. Sorry. He finds the penguin, this rubber penguin under the blankets. He finds like a tape recording of Truman snoring, and he looks around. He's like, "Come out, wherever you are," and he can't find him. And then he just looks directly into the camera and goes, "He's gone," and shrugs. And the feed cuts. It's like technical difficulties. You're like The Simpsons, like da 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 And every time I think about this film, that's the line I think about. Noah Emmerich looking at the camera going, he's gone. It's just fucking brilliant.
I've been thinking about that line all day today because I fucking knew you were going to bring this up and tell us how much you loved it, because this is proper your kind of humour.
It's very funny.
So Christoph's like, keep it light, and he's like, is he maybe in the closet? And he opens the doors and it reveals the hole going up to the garden. He climbs up, the camera's right in front, and he breaks kayfabe, looks directly into it, breaks the fourth wall, and just says, he's gone. And that is the first time anybody has ever acknowledged the cameras in the whole 30 years. Maybe they did it early on when it was a new show or whatever, but that's the first time anyone ever acknowledged it, and that is the first time it's been off air ever. And you see it cuts to people in the bar and the cops and the old women and the man in the bath, and everyone's just like, what
I know,
the fuck?
it's mad for them, innit? 'Cause this has never happened before, and they've been watching this like some of them are as old as Truman, so they've been watching this as like all their lives, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Imagine, put yourself in the world of the Truman Show, where you're probably younger anyway, so you start noticing the TV show when you're about 8 or 9 or whatever, and this has been a real TV show in your universe forever, right? And even if you love it or you hate it, you're against it or you don't care, this would be huge. The most famous person in the world probably has essentially escaped and has figured it all out. This would be the biggest moment.
Yeah.
Imagine social media nowadays if something like this happened. If it was real in this world and it happened, it would be the most talked about thing ever, and it would be fucking insane to see.
Yeah, it'd blow up, wouldn't it? It'd blow up. So Sea Haven just goes mental now. It turns into this weird, like... So they start forming search parties, and they're doing like a grid search. They're all arm in arm with flashlights, like a net walking through the entire town. Like if they form like a grid search, they'll have to find him. And like the moon turns into a gigantic spotlight, and he's like looking around for him. And then it starts playing this like John Carpenter Escape from New York music. I was like, oh my god, what? I don't remember this bit.
It's excellent music, that. You know what I said before about when he gets on the bus and they're all like stereotypical, archetypical characters. Yeah. Well, when you see them all walking around, they're all in costume, right? And I was thinking about this when I was watching it last night, is these people are actors, they're turning up to go to work, or they live on somewhere in like a staff place on the island, but they probably don't have any other clothes, especially the proper background extras like the sailors and the guy who's just got the hat and the glasses and he keeps checking his watch and stuff like that, or the man with the flowers, that's his prop, he's got to keep hold of them. Like, that's why they're all in their full-on costumes as they're walking around.
Can you imagine if this was in like Disneyland, so they had all the Disney cast members, the mascots, like looking out for it. Don't break character, whatever you do, don't break character.
That'd be equally as terrifying, seeing fucking Mickey Mouse walking around.
So when the cameras return, they find Truman, and he has conquered his fear of water, and he's sailing out of Sea Haven on a boat called the Santa Maria, which was one of Christopher Columbus's ships. So there's a bit of a significance behind that name, sailing off to find the new world. So Christoph orders Paul Giamatti's producer character to activate the storm program and scare Truman and force him to turn around, but Truman braves through the storm like he's Lieutenant Dan. He's just like, whoa, take her, come and get me, come on, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I got a real man vs. God vibe from this bit. This is Truman's last challenge, and it's like the gods are saying, right, you cannot leave, and they're bringing down storms and thunderbolts and lightning, but you know, the persistence of man he goes through.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, as we will get to in a minute, you can't really get much more than man versus God with the outro, with the finale part of the film. Yeah. But we'll talk about that soon.
So they send one more gigantic wave at Truman, and they actually try and capsize his boat this time and kill him. He's just like, that'll kill him. He's like, he's tied himself to the boat, and they're like, just do it. It's like, fucking hell, Christoph's trying to murder him.
He's like that. No, everybody else is like, what, are you serious? He's like, yeah, do it.
Even the guys that appear who maybe are above Christoph are like, you can't do this. Yeah. And he's like, he was born live on TV, he can die live on TV. It's like, fucking hell, dude. Paul Giamatti is nearly crying. He is like, there are signs earlier though that he's thinking about quitting this thing. I think the morals are getting to him, that because when he's reading a newspaper, he's looking through the job section. Right. So Paul Giamatti's very small performance in this film is fucking great. Yeah. Like we love him.
We do. He is beloved on this podcast.
Yes. Yeah. I'm in love with him.
Oh, wait till we get to that Black Mirror episode.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so Truman's fighting spirit has won out, and he raises the sails, and the sun comes out, and he floats to the edge of the world, which crashes into the celestial barrier. He's literally the edge of the world. It's like a brick wall painted. This emergency exit is just painted on.
My favourite bit about this bit is when you see the shadow of the boat hit the wall, because it's so jarring to your brain.
Even though it's a wall that has been painted to look like the sky, it looks so much like the distant sky.
Yeah.
He would probably believe that he is nowhere near land. He is probably forever just going to be sailing off, but at least he is free.
Yeah.
See, I knew this. I knew he hits the wall, but it's still quite jarring to me. It still made me jump. I was like,
because the music cuts just as it happens as well, and the shadow it only appears for a split second, and it confuses you enough to trick you into not knowing what's going to happen. And then the music cuts. And it's like, oh, great.
Truman tries to break through the wall, but he can't. As far as he's come, he still can't get through the wall. But he ends up just walking down the side of the dome. And this is where Christoph speaks to Truman like God talking to Moses. Christoph reveals the truth about Truman living inside the constructed reality TV show. And he says things like, oh, Truman just... I had tears in my eyes watching this scene. It was getting to me. He says, I was there for your first step, your first tooth, your first day of school. I've been there with you from the start, Truman, and come back to Sea Haven where it's safe and there's nothing to fear. Just come home, Truman. And I know how this film ends. I've seen it like dozens of times. I was urging Truman with every fibre of my being, just don't go back to that town. Just don't do it, Truman. Just you've come this far, just don't do it, please. And yeah, Truman decides he's going to leave, and he gives his catchphrase.
Well, if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, which is purposely phrased because the whole world are watching him, and they could be watching him in the morning, the evening, or the night time.
Yeah. And he walks through the open door and out of the dome into a new life. They should have ended the film right there with that shot of him walking through the door. We do get a good shot of Sylvia putting her coat on and rushing out of her house to go meet him. But and the film has I don't like this last shot of the two guys. Let's see what else is on, because the Truman Show gets cancelled. And it's just like, I think they're trying to make a comment about like people will watch anything.
It is.
What's next?
Social commentary.
Yeah, and it didn't need that. You should have just ended with Truman walking, breaking the barrier, getting out into the.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't ruin it for me, but I do agree that
that's the one small thing I would change.
If I think too much into it, that could piss me off a lot. But I don't. I try not to think into it.
Yeah.
So can I just talk a little bit about this scene?
Yes,
because this scene is so fucking emotional for me. And it's partly because of the music that is played. So this is one of the tracks that isn't produced and performed by Philip Glass. This is called Father Colby's Preaching by, I'm going to murder this pronunciation, Wojciech Kila, who is or was, there's not a lot of information about him online, a Polish, say like music producer, but it's not really like
Polish trance artist.
Composer. A Polish composer. So I'm just going to read you a little paragraph. Saint Maximilian Kolbe was a Polish friar who volunteered to die in place of a stranger in Auschwitz, World War II. At the end of July 1941, 3 prisoners disappeared from the camp, prompting Deputy Camp Commander to pick 10 men to be starved to death in an underground bunker in order to deter further escape attempt. When one of the selected men cried out, "My wife, my children," Kolbe, the Polish friar, volunteered to take his place, and the man whose life was saved by him lived until 1995.
That's mad.
So that piece of music was written about that story, and the original piece is about 12 minutes long, and it has lots of different ups and downs. It's a phenomenal piece of music. It is like, you can't probably see, but the hairs on my arms are like
I can tell,
standing on edges, because I'm fucking it's so beautiful, it's so powerful. I have it saved into my YouTube downloads because I listen to it so often. The same with Truman Sleeps. I learned how to play Truman Sleeps because I do play piano a little bit, but I'm not great. But I learned how to play Truman Sleeps. It's quite a difficult track. But I have made a cover of it for this pod, so when it comes out, everyone will hear it. And also, I plan on getting, I can't believe I haven't got it already, the silhouette of Truman woman walking up the stairs as a tattoo.
Yeah, I was going to say that would
loads
be
of designs
so
on it.
sick. The iconic
I don't
stairs.
have a lot of space for it, so maybe I actually don't have any space for it. Really. Oh, maybe there, maybe there.
I can't believe I haven't seen this film in so long. I haven't seen it in probably 20 years at least now. I got so much more out of it now that I'm older. I noticed so much more. Not even the fact that it's unsettling and scary in parts and spooky and weird. Like, it was just such a powerful character journey. It was like a mythology. The bit, especially the end with the storm and when he escapes and just he's going up against God to break through that barrier and come on the other side of the Matrix. Just so powerful. 5 out of 5. Fucking loved it.
James, what about you? How do you feel about this ending as well?
Yes. Same in the sense that, like, I wish that they would have ended it when he walked out, but also I kind of like I think that it could have been a bit cold maybe. So you get like Lauren or whatever her name is, like running down the stairs, and you get all the people in the bar that are happy in the Truman bar or whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like gives it that nice and more uplifting ending. But yeah, I can't believe I haven't watched this film like more times than I have. And like I said, watching it the other night, I was literally sat there glued to it, and I was trying to think of something that I didn't like about it, and I only now that you've mentioned just that very, very, very end bit. Thingy, but I think it's like the perfect film, and I'm so intrigued by the Jim Carrey casting, and I would like. Did we say earlier whether it was him that went for it, or did the film did the producers want him?
They wanted him, but I don't think they could afford him because he was hot then, and he probably had like a going rate. I think it was 20 million or something.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
he took something like a 45% pay cut to be in it.
Yeah.
And they held off production because he was filming Liar Liar and The Cable Man. Apparently, I don't know if that's definitely true.
The contrast.
But I know, yeah. He was filming up until that point and they waited for him. If you think about the way the world works, like the timing of everything is so important, and like it's almost like the butterfly effect, you know. Every single tiny thing that you do affects what will happen in the future, whether it's big or small. And the fact that they waited the perfect amount of time made it so this film came out exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Like if they had more time, they might have changed something. If they had less time, they might not have had an idea that they went with and stuff like that, you know. It came out perfectly because of the timing of everything.
That's the thing, yeah. If it was maybe
very special.
If it was like after 2000, because obviously it's 98, isn't it? So it's right just up against.
If it had come out after The Matrix, they might have got the Wachowskis to do it, and it might have been an AI world like Don't Worry Darling, spoilers for Don't Worry Darling, as opposed to being a real fake world, you know.
Yeah.
It's Gnosticism. It's the world isn't how the world that you see isn't really how the world is, and you have to break the barrier and get through to the other side. It's like the Matrix.
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Like it's just there's so much, and obviously with all the stuff that you've been telling us, Paul, like there's so much intention and thought, and I would say like some of the best production design I've ever seen, you know.
Like 100%.
And just when you notice like something that's happening in the film, you're like, oh yeah, like I saw that, like I understand why they're doing that and stuff. I don't know. It's just like it was just so entertaining to watch. I will not recommend it because everybody's seen it, but you know, just I'll be talking about this for ages now.
I talk about this film daily, so people are probably sick of hearing about it, and maybe now I can shut up about it for a little bit, maybe not. So what I want to talk about before we move on to anything else is the ending of the original screenplay. So because it differs somewhat. So because it was set in a fake New York, it wasn't like a seaside town with like little boats and stuff. It was New York ferries, you know. So in the final escape scene, it's very similar. However, there's one part where he's running through the city, and this has intrigued me so much, and I've told you about it, Dan. So there's one part where he's running through the city, and he runs past a school that he's been past a million times, and he runs inside. He hears children playing inside, and he runs in, and the school is completely empty, and there's just a big speaker with the sound of children playing coming from it, and I found that to be extremely creepy. And I have used that idea in my graphic novel for like 3 pages, but instead of being a school, a man runs into a church, and the church there's all mannequins inside the church. Anyway, there are in the original screenplay, there are helicopters chasing him. I can't remember all that much, but essentially where the ending ends in our film that we know isn't the end of the film. So after he goes through that door, he walks through a tourist shop selling merch of him, photos of him, key rings, all this kind of stuff, t-shirts and whatever. He walks through and he sneaks onto a tour, Truman Show tour. And when the tour guide sees him, she shits herself and he says, keep the tour going. I want to know what you know about me, this kind of thing. The finale of this, well, not quite the finale, just before it ends, Truman is chased to a roof of a soundstage where he looks from the top of the roof and sees a giant camera, a giant screen, almost like the Truman Sleep screen, the one we're very familiar with. Yeah, with like him on it, I think. And then Christoph comes out and Truman meets Christoph, and Truman goes for him, and Christoph shits his pants, revealing that he's an absolute coward. And it's in the original screenplay as well. Christoph is quite a pervy character, and he hangs around the actual sets in the background watching Truman, and it's almost like he's sexually attracted to him or something like that. So the finale of the original screenplay is that Truman somehow escapes, and we have a flash forward to Truman in the future living with Sylvia at a house on the beach where they're sitting down watching TV, and an advert pops up for the Zoe show, and it's all started over again.
Right,
and it's going to be a baby girl called Zoe. So I told that to my missus last night, and she was like, a house on a beach, like in Eternal Sunshine. That's one of her favourite films, because in that film she says, I want to live in a house on the beach with you. And I was like, that got me thinking. Here's a little fan theory for you. What if Eternal Sunshine is a sequel to The Truman Show? Truman has started living a brand new life under the name Joel. Joel doesn't remember his past as The Truman Show because they've used the memory wiping technology on him so that he's forgotten. He lives this completely isolated life, and he's completely unhappy, and he doesn't even know why. He meets this woman, they fall in love, but things don't work because he's had all this trauma happen to him, and he keeps getting his memory wiped over and over again, and that's why he doesn't remember being in The Truman Show. How's about that for a little
If that was true, that is depressing as fuck. Because I watched Eternal Sunshine recently, and I was to see all like, how they do like the memory loss bits and stuff without the CGI and stuff, and it's so dark and like depressing. It's so good though. It's amazing. It's
beautiful at the same time though. I think we should cover that at some point maybe. Yeah. So there you go. That's that was my little theory, and that's
I like it.
The original screenplay. I'm definitely happy that we got what we got, because it's my favourite film. It's a fucking 10 out of 10. Every single person in it, from the extras to the main cast to the score, the shooting locations, there's just nothing in it apart from maybe that tiny little 5-second clip at the end. There's just nothing in it that I can ever complain about, and it's beautiful, man.
Great choice. Thank you for choosing this one, Paul.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for enjoying it. I was a bit scared because it's not our typical kind of thing, and it isn't a horror film, but I find this film scarier than any film we've covered.
What more than See No Evil?
Oh, now you mention
Excuse me. See No Evil had a woman getting mauled to death by a pack of dogs.
That's true.
Fuck that film. Paul, have you got any trivia for us?
Yes, I do, Diane.
Just say yes.
So, play the jingle. Ed Harris and Jim Carrey never met during filming. Yeah, that makes sense. The original script had Truman Burbank living in a recreation of New York City, but Peter Weir changed it to an idyllic town to make the movie feel less sci-fi. The True Mania bit, where Truman draws on the mirror with soap and acts strange, was completely improvised by Jim Carrey. In another take, he drew long curly hair and a dress.
You could tell. You could tell.
Is there anything about the slapping that guy's ass with a briefcase?
There are over 50 pieces of trivia here.
I might actually read this.
I would definitely recommend it, because they seem to be all very interesting, to me at least anyway. Jim Carrey and Peter Weir initially found working together on set difficult. Carrey's contract gave him the power to demand rewrites, but Weir was impressed with Carrey's improvisational skills, and the two became more interactive. Peter Weir wrote a 10-page backstory that described the history of the show. For instance, The Truman Show was a frequent winner at the Emmys. Truman was just supposed to be out of high school, but since Jim Carrey's in his 30s, it got swapped from teenage angst to more of a midlife crisis.
Thank God.
I'm going to leave it there because there is so much here, and it's all very good. So I would highly, highly recommend it. People on the set were forbidden from uttering phrases from Jim Carrey's past silly movies.
Smoking.
Smoking. Yeah, so that's a little bit of trivia. I definitely recommend looking it all up and reading through it because it's good. God.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you guys for doing this film. It's been a ball. Next episode, Dealer's Choice Part 2. James, it's your choice, so let's see what you've got for us.
Okay, so this has been really hard because I've had my mindset on one film since we last did Dealer's Choice. But then the other day that changed. So this is a film that I think I've only ever seen once. I can't remember really anything about it. I just remember being like really creeped out by it and stuff like that. So it is a foreign language film, and it is the 1988 version of The Vanishing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
I've got that on DVD.
You've still got it. So yeah, I've seen it once. And I remember the main story, but I cannot remember anything that happens in it. So
oh my god, it's on YouTube as well.
Oh, is it? Oh, even better.
Oh, nice choice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I love this film.
Yeah. I'm well excited for that.
Well, this is what I'm really excited for because I just can't remember anything about it. I've just got like these like snapshots of like Europe and stuff in it, and like the small cars and stuff, and then it just being freaky. So I'm buzzing to watch it.
Excellent.
I can't wait to talk about the end of that film. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about all of it, but the end leaves. Oh, gross. Crikey Moses.
Right, we will see you next time on Dealer's Choice for The Vanishing. If we get chance in the interim time, we are going to record a Halloween episode, which will be Trick or Treat from 2007.
Trick or
Treat, which I've never seen either. But Paul, that was your recommendation.
You've never seen it, both of you?
No.
Thank God, it's so good. It'll be a staple of your Halloween. I cannot wait to watch it.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's fucking dead good. It's right up my street. Yeah, and just before we finish as well, I probably left out loads about the Truman Show. So if anybody wants to talk about Truman Show, give me a shout. You know what I mean?
We'll be doing a overflow on the Patreon. Oh no, we won't. We won't.
It'll just be recordings of me mumbling to myself about this.
So we'll see you next time, either Trick or Treat or The Vanishing, Sporloose, whichever appears on your feed first. So we'll see you then. Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.